What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back with another amazing top 10 video for you. As of late, folks, we've been seeing the rise or the continual rise of alt art Pokemon cards. Not only alt art cards, but illustration rares and special illustration rares. So I wanted to dedicate a video to the top 10 most expensive alt art and illustration rare and even special illustration rare Pokemon cards. I've done videos like this in the past, however, they were focused solely on alt art cards, so in this video we're going to focus on not only the alt arts but the illustration rares to bring a little Scarlet and Violet into the culture. Folks, this fantastic top 10 video is brought to you by the one and only KantoShark.com. After this video, head over to KantoShark.com where they have had some amazing sales, including this Neo Revelation booster box, these Mario Luigi promo cards, and this Tag 10 First Edition base set Charizard that have sold for astounding prices. These listings have sold this past week on KantoShark.com, but don't worry, their inventory is always being replenished each and every week. So go check them out, folks. A link to their website will be in the description of this video. Go see what they have for you today. A couple ground rules before we start this video, folks. This will be for English set cards only, and we will only be including PSA 10 copies because it's just not fair. A lot of these cards, not a lot, but some of them have black label sales and others don't. So in the spirit of fairness, we'll only be including PSA 10 copies. Let's get started off with the number 10 most expensive alt art special illustration rare card. It is the Latios EX SIR from the newest set, Surging Sparks. This card had a most recent auction sale of about $730. And this card only plays second fiddle, of course, to the Pikachu SIR. This is definitely the second most expensive card from Surging Sparks and the 10th on our list today. The number 9 most expensive card would have to be this Rayquaza VMAX alt art from Evolving Skies. Has seen some big numbers the past couple of months, most recently selling as a PSA 10 for $810. And as you all know, Evolving Skies featured many expensive alt arts. I believe this one right here is the second most expensive in that set, and the number 9 expensive in today's video. The number 8 most expensive card on today's list would have to be the Gengar VMAX alt art from Fusion Strike. It's otherwise known as, at least on this channel, as the Anus Gengar, which has sold most recently in auction for about $880, securing its spot as the number 1 most expensive card in all of Fusion Strike and the number 8 on today's list. Coming in number 7, we're going back to the Sun and Moon era, to Shining Legends, and the best card from that set, the Mewtwo GX, that has sold most recently as a PSA 10 for an even $1,000. I'm going to go ahead and say that out of every card on today's list, this card right here is my absolute favorite. It's the number 7 most expensive alt art card of the year. Coming in number 6, we have another Gengar, but this one is the Gengar and Mimikyu GX from Team Up. That has sold as a PSA 10 most recently for 1,325 big ones. The Team Up set is of course no stranger to extremely expensive cards. This one right here is over $1,300 in value and the number 6 on our list today. Coming in number 5 might be the most surprising card. It is the Magikarp illustration rare from Paldea Evolved. A card I never dreamed would have been selling for this much money as a PSA 10, most recently selling an auction for $1,351 for a Magikarp. I still can't wrap my head around that, folks. I can't. This is without a doubt the most expensive card from Paldea Evolved. The number 4 most expensive card comes from Lost Origin. That's right, it is the Giratina V alt art that has sold most recently as a PSA 10 for $1,375. This is one of those cards that did have a black label sale, and it did go for a staggering amount, but like I said, we're going to stick to PSA only for this video. This is the number 4 most expensive alt art card. Coming in number 3, we have one of the newest cards of the year. It is this Pikachu SIR, a card that needs no introduction. Has sold most recently as a PSA 10 for $1,390. And only time will tell if this card is able to hold the number 3 spot in the next coming years, but as of right now, it's the 3rd most expensive alt art card, or special illustration rare. The number 2 most expensive card in today's video is one we all know and love, the Moonbreon VMAX, which is officially, as a PSA 10, a $2,000 card. This card, I believe, has solidified itself as one of the most iconic cards of the hobby and the number 2 most expensive on today's list. Before we get to the number 1 most expensive card that pretty much blows all these other cards out of the water, which is insane, let's go over just a couple of honorable mention sales. Here we have a Terrapagos EX from Stellar Crown that was starting off pretty strong, selling for about $550, but more recently has sold as a PSA 10 for $255. Here we have the Charizard V Alt Art from Brilliant Stars that sold as a PSA 10 for $353. Here is the Blaziken VMAX from Chilling Reign that most recently sold for $416. Here we have the Magikarp and Wailord GX from Team Up, an alt art card I don't see come by nearly as often as the others, has sold most recently as a PSA 10 for about $515. Here we have the Lugia V from Silver Tempest that sold for $521. The Milotic EX from Surging Sparks has sold most recently for $620, while this Charizard EX SIR from the 151 set has sold for $610. Here we have the Mew EX Special Illustration Rare from Paldean Fates that sold for $642. And then we can't forget about this Greninja EX SIR from Twilight Masquerade that has sold most recently for about $711. Which leads me to the number 1 alt art, a special illustration rare, whatever you want to call it, Pokemon card. It is the Latios GX alt art from Team Up that sold very recently as a PSA 9. That's right, a PSA 9 for $1,525, and as a PSA 10 for over $3,500, solidifying itself as the most expensive alt art card maybe ever. Maybe ever. What do you think of today's video, folks? Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite SIR or favorite alt art? Let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. That's all I got today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in my next one.